Well, good afternoon. Final day of League Co-op for all dungeons, but yeah, certainly not the least of our runs. We actually have two pretty amazing teams lined up here in this really nice, actually Sunday afternoon or maybe Sunday evening for those in Europe. Speaking of, we've got Team Triple Clown Fiesta, returning team from previous seasons, although with a new member in tow, Tato versus and Yoshi facing off versus the team formerly known as the Spoilers, but unfortunately no pilot spoiler this year, so they decided to change to some other name, which I guess everyone can read off the screen. We've got Shady Force and Zelga, two absolute veteran runners in this extremely stacked division. This should be a really great race. I'm here joined by Ravis. Ravis, you're also all done with your co-op leagues. You're also in the same division, correct?
Correct. Also, these two teams will be our opponents in the other co-op weeks, but that's some time until then. And hello, everyone. So yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a good one. We can expect high execution level here. Pretty much straightforward, full clearing. I could see some, sneaky gambles on Triple Clown Fiesta. I mean, their name is, this has to be something, and we're off.
I was gonna say, yeah. So is it still considered a sneaky gamble if it's as part of the triple clowning of the fiestas?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
From our perspective.
Yeah. Straight off the bat, though, Tato and Zelga starting in sync. We got an immediate fire rod, so now I guess like the next step is hopefully we're gonna find some magic. We've got some actually really nice and fast, like a weapon basically to be able to use.
Yeah, and the triple only gave us some arrows, so we're still looking for bombs early to get access, really, and see what that uncle has. Also 10 arrows, potentially the chest there.
Yeah, it looks like some pretty standard stuff. Tato's also kind of going after. Ooh, oh my god! Oh, dude, I guess we just absolutely didn't quite get the exact time right. So, like, one person who has a fire rod really absolutely love that half magic. The other person who has half magic would really like that fire rod. So I guess you need to swatch out.
That's very unfortunate, but I think you pick up the fire rod. Oh, nice bombs there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask. I mean, so it's like what the person who starts it, uncle. Like, would you just tell them, like your partner, like, hey, go start save and quit, start at sync, and then save and quit, start up again? So that fire rod half magic is really nice.
I am surprised they do it. They don't do it because both the other runners are picking up bombs regardless. I thought they want to go still CAC first since they just found bombs, but looks like both teams and both members are checking CAC first. No one is gonna go and save and quit, as you mentioned, and clear the front of Hyrule Castle now.
Yeah. Actually, so this is actually pretty. Okay, so I know that you've done both your co-op weeks already, but like, so what is the general, I guess, like strategy? You guys try and do as much as like divergence as possible. I haven't actually seen like both runners, I guess, like on the same team being Kakariko, like at the same time, even if one's coming from the north, one's coming from the south.
I mean, usually you have no better place to start if you don't get bombs in a weapon or of something, right? You can't just go mini Molomka or anything else. But you could go Eastern early if you get a bomb and say, let's just check it out. But yeah.
Well, I think if any team member in this case goes to Eastern, it will be strictly on the left side. I can only see is Shady and Zelga probably going there if they probably find a bow first, or is you're kind of like their last location of sorts.
So I think we're gonna see Zelga and Tato heading to Hyrule Castle next with that fire rod in hand. The other one's probably going back of escape. Ooh, with that sword and chicken nut. We can go south even very good, but I think the people with the gloves and that don't have the fire rod yet probably gonna go there. It's interesting, or it's gonna be interesting to see what the other two are gonna do next.
Yeah. Well, so in this case, like, even though this course is all dungeons, we have to do pretty much everything in the light world, everything in the dark world. Actually, it looks like Tato is gonna farm up a little bit of extra cash in the well in order to probably get Bottle Vendor.
Yeah. I mean, Zelga's 5 rupees short right now. I don't know if he's gonna get somewhere 5 rupees. and only 20 from the bottle vendor himself.
Okay, well, that is actually going to be one more check marked off for Tato and Yoshi. Yeah, but I was actually going to ask in this case. So, at what point do you, I guess, do you try and maybe put off, I guess, like the front of escape? Because there's certainly been instances where potentially maybe like Aga's required for some version of Dark World access or early. We don't really have we don't have a lamp right now or anything like that. But we do have a Master Sword. We do have a Fire Rod potentially in order to get to part of Dark Cross, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of want to know if the key is in Dark Cross, right? So, I assume Yoshi is gonna check the back of Escape. Same with Shady Force, and yeah, both runners go in front of Escape and hope to not hear a key and also not find a key. So the key is in the Dark Cross.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. So far, actually, quite the parody, actually. So
I kind of wish the screens on one side would be diverse.
Yeah.
You know? So we have the next to each other. So I blame the runners already to making us confused. This hard early on, yeah.
Right. We should have gotten like prior knowledge, for what Tato and Zelda were gonna do. I think there were 3 heart pieces in the back of Escape. Was that right?
Yeah, there was 3 heart. So I don't know. We have like 7 or 8 minutes of the exact same checks probably. Like I think Shady and Yoshi is gonna both going South Shore. this feels a little weird.
Oh.
It's kind of hurting my eyes right now.
Yeah, I know, right,
on the bottom left and top right. Like look at the sink here, almost perfectly on top left and top bottom right. So
yeah, we just need we have unfortunately it's diagonal sync, right? It's not just like a side by side type of thing. Jeez.
Yeah. So okay, we find the powder interesting.
Interesting.
They're so similar right now in their movement.
Yeah. And of course, right, so Tato and Zelda in the front of Escape. So I think my Shady's already done a lot of the back of Escape scouting, at least for Team Eastern Skippers. So I guess in this case you're just kind of hoping that you never see you mentioned before you don't want to see the small key, right? So that means you don't have to go to Dark Cross.
I mean, the small key could have only been in Dark Cross or in the first chest in Hyrule Castle. Logically, but since we found it there's and the map also in the boomerang chest.
Oh,
so
alright.
We kind of want to see that for sure.
I definitely missed the small key. Never mind. Yeah, so it looks like there's going to be an item in Dark Cross, but of course it is technically in logic with that fire rod. This is not entrance, so there is such a thing as advanced logic. You will need in this case the fire rod or the lamp in order to logically get it. That being said, I don't actually know how much Zelda's gonna actually use. Zelda or Tato's gonna use the fire rod in Escape, but given that they have half magic, certainly wouldn't necessarily hurt in this case.
I mean, right now we have Master Sword, right? You could do that at some point and get a refill if this seat isn't, going to go there anyway. So, both are gonna check that Dark Cross right now. And if nothing is there, well, we are down to Eastern and Agina logically. We could check the 2 checks on the mountain first and get some info on
right. Yeah, but I think without a flute, without a lamp, that's still considered out of logic, right? Yeah, we have some other options. Yeah, I mean, and so we also got some additional flipper checks that looks like Shady and Yoshi are gonna go for. So actually in this case, looks like Yoshi and Shady have 400-ish rupees. Would you take the time to farm for Zora?
I do not know. I really do not know. I'm happy I'm not in the decision moment. What was that in Dark Cross? I didn't see.
No, I totally missed it.
It was the Moopa, right?
Oh, was it? It was actually, yeah. Our awesome trackers, Iker and Nervin Deutsch, was actually really nice to be able to mark it immediately. Tato was also, because we have such nice sync, be able to show this to us on his side, with also a torch lit up too.
Yeah, Tato's gonna go next level, death warping here in the dark, or rather in the, temporarily light, and then just going up here has the Moon Pearl, can do something like Catfish. Feels actually confident enough to do the dark rooms with the fire. I mean, with half magic in hand, I think this is definitely a fair play if you want to do that early.
I am impressed. I mean, yeah, not a lot of people I think would probably be more or brave enough or more willing enough to actually do this. But Tato's here, as you said, and Master Sword, Fire Rod, half magic. Certainly not going to be the worst thing.
Yeah, the big thing here actually is that if he's gonna be successful and kind of fast, he has a faster way to go to Pyramid Ledge and to Catfish, so they have that out of the back of their
Yeah,
head.
yeah, excellent point.
And the others might go to the regular entrance and just take more time for that. So it depends on how good Tato is going to do that. For now, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, the fire rod, of course, is always going to be very helpful. But of course, PSA, these guys, without the lamp, you are by no means under the expectation of doing this place. But again, Tato is a very, very talented runner. He plays a ton of rando to be able to do this.
Just a nice, simple fact to the Triple Clown Fiesta lineup that we see here. Those two were actually both the finalists and the winner from the last German tournament. So Yoshi won 2-0 against Tato, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And now they're teammates, and then there's Shoulder as well. So
right, Shoulder, right. I had forgotten about that. That's right. I think were you semis at some point, Rivas, in that German tournament? I remember you were also.
I got kicked out by Yoshi, so.
Okay, well then there you go. All right.
Yeah. Semifinals, but it's all good.
Yeah. All right. Well, take
and I mean, Shady and Zelga, right? Those two were in the spoiler at SG Live right now, and I think Zelga won, right?
Correct. Right. Zelga did take the eventual final placement, taking a win over Gamachu in the finals. I think Shady ended up getting kind of knocked out, maybe somewhere in like the middle of the bracket. So, but still, like very, very talented. I mean, there's a reason why they were called the spoilers, right?
Tato. That's scary.
Tato made it through the most difficult parts of the tower, which was basically like the pit rooms, like in the dark. That probably is arguably like the worst one because it's very easy to get lost and then knocked down. And if you are not careful, you will. We have
agree and disagree with that. I have to agree and disagree here because always when you think that, I'm done with the hardest part, these red guards, they will get you at some point.
That's very true, right? Yeah.
There's the mitts in the big chest. So that's our regular Dark World access with the mitts and big chest in Eastern. Of course, we're gonna check that biggie chest while we're here. But yeah, Shady's gonna check out Agina right now, and that might be a play that Triple Clown Fiesta might not do for a long time, or maybe even check the desert ledge first, which I hope he's gonna do, or it's gonna break my heart.
Yeah. Information, especially in co-op, right, is I would say even more important. But looks like Shady is just gonna.
My heart is broken.
I'm sorry, Rainbows.
It's shattered.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Shady's gonna go straight over to Agina. I mean, so given the fact that they do have combined, as you said, combined Dark World knowledge for entry. Shady, of course, is missing his Pearl and his mitts. Zelga's missing. Oh no, Zelga just has traditional Dark World access. We got Bombos here and Villa Biki Chest Ether. Maybe Shady was hoping that we're gonna get something else, right, to help out. Boots, flutes, in order to kind of make his desert trip scouted a little bit faster.
Yeah. So, Yoshi's gonna pick up this Moon Pearl now next.
No, actually, it's okay. So speaking of Aga, Tato's now finished. Did we actually see a lumberjack check?
No.
Okay.
I don't think.
I don't remember anybody doing this. So we still need the boots, in order to actually get the lumberjack item. But sometimes you never know what devious item could be there. An earlier seed, I think today had the pearl on lumberjack. So it's kind of important to know.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. So we are 12 minutes in. Can we get some form of map checks at some point, maybe? I want to see what's green pendant. Please. What is going on?
That's actually really true, right? Because Zelga, I think, lots of people actually went to Saha, right? I think like Shady and Zelga, they got their temper sore there. Did not actually end up talking to anybody to have any type of knowledge.
I mean, you don't need to talk to just open the map.
Yeah, that's also.
It's enough. I promise. Okay, so start with the crystal at least. Because we can see that with the sea, right? I forgot to check it at Eastern, but at least Skywoods is some form of crystal.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And we can clear that. So if that is red bomb, or red crystal rather. Ooh, that.
Oh, well, speaking of red items, wherever Donka is, he's smiling because that is the King of Samaria here in the front of the back of Skullwoods.
That is a fun experience every render runner has at some point. You want to have the cane for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you will find the cane there. This is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So Tato, man, this Aga play into Pyramid and Catfish has just really paid off for Tato because he found the mirror at Catfish.
Yeah, that was a big find.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Now,
I would be Tato, I think I don't know. I think he's gonna, leave Thieves Town and do all the overworld stuff. Like his partner in crime is gonna do the Skywoods play now, and I think he's gonna do like Tito should go probably even to that graveyard ledge here because that is oof, that's big.
yeah, no, and in fact, that's actually a really good point that you make here, right? Because this case, like Skull was, of course, clearable crystal, right? Very makes a lot of sense for Yoshi and for Zelg in this case to basically take this on. But the fact that Tato did pick up that mirror, right? It's in a bad location. Maybe your opponents could have not picked it up, but also like, what is the mirror gonna do for you in Skull Woods? Like, kind of next to nothing, honestly, right? You may as well just capitalize it and see if you could basically take advantage of it, right, in the overworld.
Tito even better with that mirror. He just farmed money in the Holy Hand room, and yeah, I forgot he doesn't have mids yet, so he has to go to Eastern, so he can combine that with pot as well. There's unfortunately no bottle for him, and I don't know how comfortable he right now feels about mimic clipping, but at least he can check the first chest in pot. And just imagine there's gonna be some hammers, some whatever. Like we don't have logical access yet, but give us flippers, and suddenly we can go to pot. So, and there's a hookshot by the way on Zelga's side, as I've just seen. So the mountain is looking pretty hot right now.
Yeah, right. Of course, and still no logical access out there, but as you said, the dark rooms have never stopped anybody, especially any of these four guys. And right, with the hook shot, with basically a glove, and of course, in combination, it would be nice to have that mirror, but there's so much stuff up there, right, in terms of density. And one of the biggest things, especially in co-op, right, is that you want to try and get as much coverage and ground cover so you can get the most information as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I am actually kind of interested in seeing, like, so Shady here dipping into Eastern Palace, getting that Bombos medallion, still out of logic. Maybe it'll be useful in this particular case.
I mean, you definitely want to have it if you're there. I would be surprised if Tato is not gonna pick it up, or Shady is not gonna. I think Shady picked it up, right? Because Shady.
Bombos, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The bow could simply behind that bombos in TR or wherever, so you don't care about that lamp right now. Like this, let this be a lamp in Ice Palace, and fire out locking lamp, and then bombos and stuff. So,
oh man,
we're gonna see that. So yeah, that mirror, that is gonna be an actual key item because we have mountain access with the hookshot as well.
Right.
How to think there's gonna be some stuff, right?
Yeah. Right, and honestly, like the fact that we found, two, I would say, like pretty big items here, like just kind of on the way in Skull Woods, right? Like Kana Samari, and of course, with that hookshot you just mentioned, that's gonna probably maybe potentially put off Catfish for Zelda and Shady, so they may not actually get that mirror for a little bit.
There's no real good way to go there, because if you at least could have checked Graveyard Ledge on the way, but that's where you need the mirror for.
Exactly.
So this is all not good enough for them.
Yeah, Shady also demonstrating that he is an avid NMG runner, so it is not maybe necessarily quite the easiest room in the game for him, but good thing he also killed the Wall Master before he got hit. All right, okay, right. So Tato here is in pot. Looks like actually Yoshi, on the other hand, is sequence breaking up the mountain as you predicted.
Yeah, I mean, with that hookshot in hand, you go there. Tato has to check the way towards Hype Cave. He has the mirror, and if there's some important items in K45, then Yoshi knows he needs to go Catfish first. So you try to be efficient and don't leave any checks behind. So this is a good play from Yoshi, even though he might see that there's something on Floating Island. But sometimes, in these races, you can't route perfectly. You have to take some risks. And there's just less things to do with the mirror on the mountain. Also, Tito can do the Smith chain way faster than Yoshi without.
Oh, yeah, right.
So it is just better that Yoshi actually takes his way up here, checks these couple of checks, sees something's on Stack Rock, and then heads over to the east side and clears at least the east side, while Tito can later go into Hera and see what is in there. So this is a good you know, a good way of mixing up your routes and then be very efficient about it.
Right. I guess that's also kind of the benefit of also having a partner, right? Is that you don't always have to do everything in one go. Unless let's just say in this case, like, right, you need to leave something kind of behind, right? Well, that's what your partner is for. When they have to eventually go back in the second time, right? Like would that maybe justify maybe like one person clearing out Thieves Town, for example, without the hammer? And maybe, if the other person has to go back there with the hammer, like maybe, and then you can kind of like get some peace of mind out of that.
Yeah. And that's why we see Zelga right now going through Thieves Town. Shady's gonna come now down, and he's probably not gonna go through this unless there's gonna be boots or a hammer or something like there. And right now, Zelga would need to get a key to stay in Logic, but of course he doesn't want to see a key in the next chest because that means he gets all items out of here.
Right. Yeah. 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 We're never gonna know until we open up this next chest, like the maiden cell. All right. So Yoshi here is on Paradox. I didn't actually see if there was anything of note that was up here. It looks like maybe we got a blue boomerang. That's probably not what Yoshi's looking for. Oh, there is a. Speaking of, there's a small key in maiden cell.
There was Burner, and we have magic, right? So you kind of.
Yeah, well, we have no hammer.
Well, yet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Logical...
We have no hammer yet. We have all of Dark Death Mountain waiting for us. That is true.
All right, Zelga coming up to his blind fight. What is Tato gonna do?
Yeah, it looks like Tato kind of finished up pod. So I don't remember. I don't think he went to the Bowlock side. So as you mentioned, like no bottle, no mimic clipping in this case, no bow, of course. And then looks like he got all the items that he could out of pod, but I don't think it was anything notable.
So I think, what is he gonna do?
It looks like maybe he also picked up enough money.
He forgot to pick up his mitts.
Oh no! Oh no! That is.
I got okay. So luckily for them, with the mirror, I think Tato knows that this might still be a big play to have the mirror. He might have even forgotten that he has the mirror in the first place. But this is definitely not good. But it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
just go with it and.
Oh no, of course, right. I mean, right. Especially like this is co-op, and it's actually towards the not necessarily the early game, but it's early enough where I think you're still trying to like get in the exploratory phase, and when you just have information like flying at you every which way, like, well, so the good news is that Yoshi found the hammer.
Yeah, I was like. I was seeing what I saw.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say it because I saw the hammer next and I forgot about what happened before.
Oh, right. Well, okay, so it's just more content for us. Yoshi is showing us that in fact that you can't actually get the first chest if you end up blocking yourself. But that's actually very useful in this case for a hammer. That is early hammer access honestly is really nice. Of course, coupled with the mirror, right, on Team TurboCon Fiesta, that is really, really nice. Again, like okay, so Zelga does have a chance now. He's got actually no, he has no hammer, so he can't go over to Catfish. But yeah, this is it's gonna be kind of like a moment in this case where when is Shady or Zelga gonna go visit Catfish?
Okay, with that hammer, I can see Shady actually saving quitting and going Hera the long way. So another thing that the mirror
that's
easier
true.
for the others, because really your options aren't great. I mean, technically Ice Palace is possible without the flippers though, and also without the knowledge on how you actually get on Death Mountain, because we still might be missing a flute. Surely these runners don't care about Lamp. I mean, at least Tato doesn't. But,
yeah. I mean, the fact that he went through Aga Tower in the dark, right? I mean, he did have the fire rod, but I mean, still, like, that is that's quite good.
So Zelga's probably gonna get that hammer next. and then take that purple chest and do the hammer packs after Thief Stone, something like that. Well, he did Thief Stone already. Never mind.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned this earlier too, with the fact that presumably for Tato and Yoshi, Tato's gonna be the one to do Smith Chain, and we're definitely gonna see a difference with that mirror, right? For how much faster, in this case, Tato's gonna be able to do this. I think at some point maybe Zelda also wants to go pick up the powder as well. That was in the dam. And so he can at least go get Magic Bat while he's at it, or maybe he'll just wait for Shady in this case to go back for it.
Also, I can see our runners doing things like Red Bomb, and that would also mean that, you want to go to Thieves and to Hera. And without the mirror, and I can see them definitely.
Oh, yeah, right.
Pick up his mirror right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still logic things that we have to come back to. I don't know what actually is left big time right now. What do we have? We have Graveyard Ledge. Is that what it is in the end? Is Yoshi gonna take that after Catfish? It could be Zora.
Right, we haven't seen. We haven't seen Zora. We have not seen Graveyard Ledge. We also can do a little bit more with some, out of logic checks, right? I mean, we don't have flippers. We can do the water checks. But yeah, we definitely.
I think Tato might do it actually right now. Well, no, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Yeah, he probably wants his hook shot right now.
Yeah, also Kanan hook shot, exactly. So I don't know. I'm waiting for Tito to do the big checks, but the thing is, like, there's another thing on the line for Tito potentially, and that is with that hammer and the mirror in hand, he could easily dip into Turtle Rock early.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think that was the thing that cost them the race last time, or at least, let them fall behind further. But this is a chance to do, and Zelga is doing the long way, probably to Hera first. Oh, actually, no, he has to pick up the hammer first. Never mind. But I think Zelga is actually gonna go Hera next, I assume.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but as you mentioned though, after he gets the hammer and he has bombos, which he got from Vanilla Biki Chest of Eastern, we have the Canis Maria and we have a Fire Rod, so we could potentially actually get pretty far in Turtle Rock. I mean, we also could get locked out immediately, but
well, no, we have the Fire Rod, right? Yeah, but he doesn't have the Myriad, so I don't know. We have to wait for Tito or for Yoshi to do some mirror checks, and actually Yoshi is gonna do one of them soon. So maybe we see some exciting things in K45, because really there's not much left.
Yeah, looks like also, so Shady did a water walk. He made it all the way to Zora, got 3 bombs, just left them there in protest. Looks like he's gonna maybe try, and he's walking out, so maybe this is gonna be Waterfall?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Well, wait, wasn't he in Waterfall here already?
Oh, was he? Maybe it just.
He had to, right?
Yeah.
Why would you rock to Zora and then here?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna go ice. He's gonna go ice.
Oh, what a play!
I mean, I would have personally saved and quitted, get my full hearts in Link's house, but it's fine. It's fine. He should be fine. All right, good move for it on Tito's side. And we still have purple chest left. There's the flute.
Oh,
now everything.
Yeah, alright, right. Now we can actually go.
And now imagine having the mirror. Oh wait, Yoshi has it. So the others, might not even be able to simply mirror here. I'm surprised Yoshi... Oh yeah, he has to pick up the Smith first. But yeah, the others, if they don't, like Shady and Zelga, if they don't get the mirror early, then that's an additional time loss, and we don't have boots, so this is even taking more time to activate the flute and then do stuff. Probably checking Maya area, but nothing. You don't find anything. The others can dip desert already. Can check checkerboard cave as well. Like that mirror is still pretty huge right now.
Yeah, I'm right, and I think like I care one of our trackers also kind of pointing out that Zelka was kind of in the area of dig game earlier, but yeah, not only of course it's one of those out of the way locations, but also just a little bit more lack of resources and funding. But this might be a visit maybe back over to part of Smith Chain, right?
Yeah,
And then back to
so.
Dig Game. But as you mentioned, right? Like with the fact that we don't have a mirror, we don't have boots in this case. We don't really have any type of mobility. Is kind of really like these quote unquote like little things are actually going to be kind of just like it's gonna give Triple Climb Fiesta kind of like a slow but sure lead, kind of over the Eastern Skippers.
We have a hookshot, okay? We have a hookshot. That is a good movement item in my
True. Well, you're right. You're right. I mean, in this case, like Zelga's trying to make his way all the way down to South Dark World, right? It's
No, but in all honesty, I think that mirror is kind of a mobility item right now because it makes
for sure, right?
much faster. And there's the first bottle for Yoshi. Oh yeah, we've seen that on Shady's side. Never mind, but
yeah, but in this but again, this is gonna be another difference, right? So Zelga just dug up his flute. He needs to go back to Light World to activate it, but we saw how fast Yoshi was able to do that with the mirror, right? Honestly, like if Yoshi just wants to go and talk to Sick Kid right now before he goes, like he can do that, and Zelga.
I think so. Yeah, I mean he wants to activate the flute as well, right? So. Use your mirror. Oh, we haven't done that as well.
Oh my gosh, he has the rest of Village of Outcasts too.
Yeah, he came from Hype Cave up there.
Right, yeah. Actually, quite convenient. Tato just actually did C-Shape House, so I think they're done now with Village of Outcasts. Or maybe Tato will do Chess Game or something.
He's gonna pick up his flute now. So Shady with his cold stare fight right now.
Yeah, looks like we do have Blue Mill, so we can take a Falling Icicle, but Shady was certainly doing quite a lot of caution in order to try and stay alive. Yeah. But that's crystal number 2 down, for Shady. So 2 crystals apiece from Shady and Zelga. Only 1 crystal for Tato and Yoshi, respectively, but crystal counts, especially this early, certainly is not necessarily indicative of who has the advantage.
It's about dungeons, right? And Tato, for example, has a second dungeon in Aga Tower, so this is
right. Yeah.
3 dungeons done, and Yoshi is gonna has done all the mountain checks for Tato, so they've cleared quite a bit of space for each other. Like Yoshi's gonna have a look at the big chest here in Thieves. I don't know if we missed an item. I saw a compass. I don't know if we actually saw a key in the cell.
We did see a key in the cell, yes, unfortunately. But I don't actually pay attention if we see a compass. But regardless, Yoshi's gonna have... Right, Yoshi's gonna be able to full clear everything. The fact that I think he does, for what it's worth, has to go back and get the purple chest after this, unless he decides to quit the dungeon early, which I really can't imagine him doing so, just because he's gonna reset the follower. He's gonna put the purple chest back once you kind of go back into the basement.
Yeah, I mean... There are no real good spots left besides probably Hera with the mirror, but without. Like I'm looking through the Eastern Skippers perspective, and I think the fact that Shady did ice already without flippers shows you that your options aren't really that great. And Verga's probably checking Maya area, potentially going into Maya. I hope he has Ether with him.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point, right? This is gonna be our first look into that area, so we're gonna see in this case if we need any more medallions. It is Bombos. Alright, okay, so good thing the Eastern Skippers did not actually skip Eastern, because it seems like it's kind of required. Although it does kind of make me wonder where that lamp is, right? Because in this case, like both Turtle Rock and Maya require Bombos, but
it's Bombos locked. Like it is, yeah. Fire Out is once again, locking probably the Bombos medallion logically. Like remember where we had the items? We had the flute, we had the hook shot that was behind the Fire Out, which gets logical access to Dark East Death One. So it could even be Turtle Rock logically. But this is could have, should have. This is all speculation. The runners are gonna show us the real answers.
Yeah. Okay. So the fact that Tato actually is here in Thieves Town, I think is maybe somewhat interesting. I mean, he's gonna be able to full clear both sides, but I guess I don't know. Like Rafe was like, do you want to try and maybe send your partner elsewhere, like kind of at this stage of the game, or Tato was also kind of in the area, so you may as well clear out Thieves Town. Like,
yeah, I think that's the thinking, right? You don't have anything left in here, and I think what Yoshi and Tato are probably talking about is like, will we even get boots at some point? If we flute back, then this double or this dip into Thieves Town is taking longer to come back to than with boots, because there's some great dashes towards the Darkwood portal and down there to Thieves. So I think this is just we need to make sometimes, even though nobody's checking right now. We just do it now, and then we're done with the area.
Yeah, I think that's actually very reasonable, right? And we did see Tato pick up the compass in the attic chest, and we saw, of course, Yoshi pick up the map earlier. So there is definitely an item here left in the big chest. We're gonna see. I mean, so when Shady goes back, he's gonna be able to get this item, but let's see in this case if it's actually important, because it'll be really unfortunate if Zelga has to go back to it and just go get the one item here.
We're gonna see. What is it?
Oh,
it is a hard piece. So
all right,
go back to
oh yeah, you see that? So as soon as Yoshi told Tato what it was, you know what? He didn't even take the extra time to open up the chest. He just literally left.
Save for a second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, every little bit counts.
All right, I'm interested to see what's here in Mire, because that's actually all new information for the seed.
So the key is
when are we finally gonna see Team Easter skippers getting that mirror? Because it has logged anything yet, right? But at some point you need it.
Oh, for sure, right. I mean, this is all dungeons. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to get.
I'm very scared that one of them might dip Turtle Rock without the mirror. I am very scared of that. It is just a mimic cave, but these co-op races can be decided by the one thing.
Certainly no one's ever gotten burned by just skipping one thing in the entire game, right? Of course not.
Never.
Certainly not here in Mire. I was actually gonna say though, like one maybe advantage here that both for Tato and Yoshi to do Thieves Town now, it is a Vice Crystal with the mirror. As you said, we have very fast access to Hera. That actually may be something else on Tato's mind too, right? Is to do Hera and then do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're gonna see now. So I'm interested to see if Yoshi's gonna go ice right now, because I can see them going ice for now, because you don't want to go, again to a dungeon. Oh, we're gonna take a look at Mire and Desert. Yeah, okay. And that's gonna be interesting to see as well, right? Desert is something that Team Clown Fiesta, Triple Clown Fiesta has access to, but
yeah.
They're missing that mirror.
Right, and of course, book is nowhere to be found. So this is the only This is the only access we know of in order to get to Desert. And of course, Yoshi's gonna be able to check if it's also boots locked as well.
Zaga right now in the dark room got the first one very well.
Man, yeah. This, so the fact that Zelga is just kind of like, fluidly moving through these rooms, right? You can actually tell that he has done these quite a bit. He's quite good.
Shady, go to the right.
Oh no.
No. I think Shady's gonna do Thieves Town now. They want to know what's in the big chest.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very reasonable, and again, right, this is going to be one of those times where you can maybe take a calculated risk that you don't need anything, but at some point you also do need your partner to go back and tell you.
Also, new information on Yoshi's side. We will see if we need the boots.
Okay.
We logically need them, at least.
Yes. Alright. Meanwhile, though, Zelga has made it back to... Yeah, so Zelga made it back to Vitreous. This fight is gonna be okay, right? He has half magic, he has cape, but phase 2 is just gonna be a bit slower because we have no bow.
Did you see what Yoshi found?
What? No, I did not see what Yoshi found.
Yoshi found the lamp that we were
Are you serious?
It was in the chest of in Desert, so he's gonna have some, nicer times in the darkness as well.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Well, I guess what a trip, right? Because in this case, you had to get all of this stuff: your mirror from Catfish, your flute from Dig Game, logical myths access in order to go to Desert to get your lamp, to go back to Eastern, to go your Bombo's tablet to come back to Mire. Great, perfect.
Yeah. So there
this
is
is
one more
why,
item
yeah.
in the big key chest, it seems like, because Zalgat's gonna go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Right.
this early, given that they're missing so much stuff, right? I think it's very you know, reasonable. Although, like, is there, I guess, like, I assume at some point after you're maybe missing only like 1 or 2 items, would you start, you know, potentially skipping stuff? And just hoping that like the remaining stuff is kind of like on your way if you've got like more dungeons on your path left to clear?
Are you asking the one who literally left an item in Mire and it was the ice shot?
I mean, it was a calculated risk, but I mean, but I think like if it were anywhere else except that location, right? Like, I think you guys were in great shape.
Let's say it this way. I don't know the answer. I decided one time to skip one item and go for Turtle Rock, and that was wrong. And the next time I didn't do it, and I was also wrong.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know the
Alright.
answer to that.
Well, let's see in this case if Zelga's thoroughness is gonna pay off for him.
Yeah. Hopefully for him it's the ice rock, because I can see him going into Turtle Rock next.
Oh, right. Yeah,
For him,
good
he
point.
probably needs the ice rod or something that, I don't know, gives him some good stuff at least. Like flippers would be really bad, because that would lead Team Triple Clown Fiesta into Swamp. But the flippers really wouldn't help Zelga right now.
Yeah, and this is actually a very interesting point, right? Because, right, it's like the flippers, well, right, so the mirror in this case, even though has been really efficient time-wise for Tato and Yoshi, as you said, it hasn't really led to anything, like, logically, right? So, you know, if Shady and Zelka just kind of last locate their mirror, maybe they'll lose out some time, but
Yeah,
maybe
I
they
think
could
they
get
are.
Swamp Goma, right?
I think this is actually a less location mirror, because Shady is now gonna go pot in Eastern. I think he's gonna he's waiting for Zelga now to finish Hera. He's gonna do red bomb, seeing that pyramid ledge, and then going to catfish. So that's actually what you know what we were talking about earlier when Tato was doing the Agate Tower, having that pyramid ledge and also that catfish check very early, and it proved to be the absolute genius play in that seed for now.
Yeah. And it's still kind of also unfortunate that, you know, we've kind of been into the Eastern Palace pod area before, and this bow, right, is just like nowhere to be found, right? So we definitely need to know that people are gonna have to come back here again, unfortunately.
So Tato is now in Turtle Rock. I like the idea of going in here. At some point you have to go in here. And Tito's deciding even that he just did Hera, could do Red Bomb, but I think you're now here, just do it and see if there's something early on. And there's still a chance for something being in Mimic Cave, and the others might leave it, either finding the Ice Rod on the way and never coming back for that, or the Ice Rod could simply be there. So
right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we talk about trusting the stats, right? By the numbers, there's always going to be some progression, or not always, but likely progression here in Skull Woods, for example. The most likely location for that ice rod is on Laser Bridge or Mimic Cave, so certainly could very well be in your favor.
yeah, and I mean, we're still. Oh God.
Oh well, that is also something potentially that could be an ice rod, but we're not gonna find out until later.
I mean, I think Tato is not too, he would be happy to find the ice rod, but really he wants to find anything here. Like, if it's flippers, fine. If it's like a bow, also fine. If it's anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And Shady doing everything that Tato has done in pod already. So that's gonna, cost some time. We didn't find anything in here, if I remember correctly. The chain shops.
Aw, Tato.
Get chain shop, Tato.
Yeah. And I think, right, unfortunately in our bottles, there's no safeties. I think it's just a B companion. So unfortunately, Tato's gonna have to start over. But it's not too bad, just because it is only chomps.
I understand, Tato. It's such a nice screen. You just want to see it twice in a seat.
Maybe he would have done better if that room were in the dark, right? We saw how well he did in Dark Aga. He just needs to make sure that have no one else watching him. That's all.
Shady, you have a red goo. You picked up a red goo. I'm sure you picked up a red goo. No. I'm sure that one with the bottle with the B was in. Oh, Tato. All right, refocus, Tato, and just go with it. I'm pretty sure he got a red goo.
Where I'm trying to remember where the other bottle was.
So one was on one was here on powder, and the other one, let me think. One runner Fondue.
Was it
I
Spec
think
Rock?
it was in Meyer's shed. Oh, Spec Rock? Wasn't Hera? Oh, okay. So, Zelga has a red
Okay,
one.
I
Okay.
got you. Yeah, okay. Well, regardless, Shady ended up maybe clipping out. I mean, did quite well in order to get past here.
Yeah.
So we do get a little bit more information, at least on the Bowlock side, but doesn't seem to at least be doesn't seem to be more progression. Tato, on the other hand, has further progressed out of Chomp, so he has graduated the first half of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, meanwhile, Yoshi having a good fight against Viddy. Slamming in the top left corner here, saving some magic and finishing the fight. So I think he still has one item left in the big key chest. I don't know if he
yeah, I don't think he went there.
So Zelga now also in Turtle Rock, but without the mirror.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be some fun coming up.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, right? They haven't gotten burned yet. You know, like for example, for a 3-stamp big chest, we're gonna see in this case of Mimic Cave again. It's gonna be one of those things that potentially could bite them.
Also, Yoshi is gonna give us a checkerboard cave check. So yeah, the efficiency right now is on triple Clown Fiesta. However, if the Eastern skippers, might never do those checks, then it's actually save time with the mirror. However, that's very unlikely to have a mirror go mode at this point.
Yeah, right. We are still missing a good amount. Like we don't in this case know like where flippers are. Like that is actually still going to be something big. And I think logically speaking, so Desert is a crystal. We do logically need that small key in order to finish. So I guess for what it's worth, the boots are not going to be in GT, right?
Yep. But I mean, there's nothing really that could actually be in GT. I just realized. Yeah, but Tato giving us the probably most important checks for the next 10 seconds. Also,
there's a fourth, there's the gold sword in the big chest of pod. It is just money, yep. So in this case, right, so Eastern skippers have not, in this case, dodged yet another really thorny check in this case.
And it's funny because like Zelga and Shady probably saying, yeah, I mean, we don't care about the lamp, but if you would just stay in logic.
Yeah, right, then... yeah. Right, but from their perspective, right, because they don't have the lamp, you know, a lot of the stuff that they're doing right now, right, for example, Turtle Rock is still considered out of logic.
Yeah.
Tato is definitely taking his due diligence to try and be a little bit more careful. He is only on 2 hearts. And of course, everything in Turtle Rock pretty much deals like, 3 or 4 hearts minimum. Yeah,
luckily he's gonna find 2 hearts and a full magic. So with that cape, he doesn't have cape or anything. Oh, he has cape. Okay, he has cape.
Oh, right. Cape wasn't hookshot cape. Yeah.
Ah, perfect. Because then, that should be kind of easy from then.
Yeah, and he did pick up a bottle with green potion, also in the vanilla big key chest, so he does have to have a little bit of magic safety, but... He
has the red group from Hera.
Okay, that's right.
Actually, he didn't go for the full magic in the 2 hearts, so never mind me.
Well, he should have enough magic, hopefully, in order to get through Laser Bridge.
We hope so. But yeah, he should.
No timely refill on the heart piece. Maybe this one will help. Nope.
He's gonna full use the cape here. Oh, okay. He wants to use the green goo. Okay, makes sense.
All right. Okay. Yeah, and like it's actually so Yoshi haven't been to Zora's. Maybe they're trying to save a little bit of money.
I think. Oh yeah, that could actually be the case. But Tato found the bow.
Oh well, that is that's pretty dang important. So Tato can now finish up Eastern. He can finish up Pod. Pod also has the green pendant as well, so that's going to be basically another check in this case that Tato and Yoshi are going to have to their advantage. But of course, the good news is, the good news, of course, for Zelga is that the Ice Rod is not here in Turtle Rock, and so he is going to be able to pick up that bow as well. And hopefully, by the time that maybe Shady gets there, they can find the Ice Rod, but maybe it's looking kind of like less likely that we're gonna have we probably have a double dip here of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, but we're gonna see Pyramid Fairy next, I think, on Tato's side.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right, Yoshi dropping into his Cold Stare fight next. Shouldn't be a big deal, but, you know, sometimes Cold Stare gets a little out of hand. But this looks pretty clean for now. Has the Fire Rod still if he needs to. Doesn't even need it.
Yeah, that looks like a really nice fight there on Yoshi's side. Okay, so at this point, so potentially just for go mode, is it just flippers on flippers and Ice Rod for Yoshi and Tato?
No, we still need the boots.
We still need the boots, gotcha. Okay.
Have a small key on the torch and the big key.
Right, yeah,
vanilla or in the other chest. And the shovel didn't have the Ice Rod either. So there was probably no way to, you know, not do a double dip in Turtle Rock.
Hey, but look, there are the flippers and Pyramid Fairies, so...
Oh, maybe there is a way. I am a little... Oh my god, what is gonna happen? So Zelga also has another small issue. He's gonna go pod now without the mirror, so he has to come back to Eastern again.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So another routing time loss, or not routing, but you know, due to not having the mirror here, you're automatically losing some time.
Yeah, no, that certainly has been kind of one of the major differences. It was that extremely early mirror by Tato. Again, hasn't really blocked any progression, but I mean, time is probably one of those most important things in a race, right? There have been so many more things that Tato and Yoshi have been able to done that was just more efficient because they didn't have to go revisit places, right? And like you kind of backtrack in order to get to places without the mirror.
Since we want to be faster than the other team, yeah. I think time is actually a pretty important factor in the race. Yep, I agree.
Just a tad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also not only that, right? You know, no mirror, especially for pod, right? The routing, you know, it's not that they have a lot of hearts, but it's certainly not like, you know, menu to mirror and then warp out, right? They still have to go like death warp. Again, these little things just take up time.
I'm a little surprised, actually. Tato is going Swamp now. I think he's playing the odds. So the problem for Tato in pod right now is there's, I think, 2 items left and the green pendant. And Eastern, I think, does not have an item anymore. So he might go back to the big chest in pod, which has the butter sword, right? But that's a long way. Tato, when he goes into pod, goes to the right. So Shady finally gets the mirror. The timer even has stopped.
Oh man, oh my, that's maybe quite the reaction. Yeah, that's quite the reaction from Shady. I mean, I was really hoping this case that you know, because in this case they had Pyramid Fairy, they were able to do, you know, go up to Pyramid Catfish, which of course is really good. But I really can't imagine, you know, Shady and Zelga feeling really great about finding that mirror when they did.
Yeah, I mean, they know my opponents could have had that a little earlier than us. But you have no idea how much earlier they had it. But for now, the mirror, at least for checks, it didn't save time. It actually cost time. But now Tato's in Swamp, and we have to assume there's got to be something here in Swamp. And if the boots are here, then there's not even a fast way to go to Catfish.
Right, exactly. So. Yeah, and of course, right, and as you mentioned, Swamp is just like one of those places where, I mean, it's 6 items, right, including left side, but I mean, it's a very dense location. And so, like, and it's kind of like the next, you know, quote unquote, like, most recent sphere, right? You know, like, that we've been able to get in terms of items. So very high chance that maybe something is good here.
Also, I'm gonna be interested to see if Tato is at all going to left side, because he's known for not going left side, and I agree by going to the back first. But
you are absolutely correct. Yeah, I believe during the 80 Keys tournament, Tato's name was always skip left side Swamp, and I think he actually got burned by it like 2 or 3 times. But
how could he not? How could he not?
He's a joker that sticks to his convictions. Oh, but you know what? Yeah, who cares about left side? We got the boots. So... Alright, so this is great news for Shady, by the way. And of course, Zelka, after Helmasaur, presumably, Zelka's gonna head straight up to Catfish, go get his mirror, and, Shady's gonna have the boots by the time that, Zelka kind of finishes up everything. So they're probably just gonna go to Swamp, I would imagine, both of them.
Yeah, I mean... Yoshi still has to do Pyramid Fairy right now to get his flippers, but after that, surely he's gonna go Swamp first.
Right, exactly.
And I can see even Tato saying, you know what, Yoshi, I'm gonna try to go ahead, maybe do the boots checks or go pot and Eastern immediately. I don't know. Maybe I can scout a little bit. You recheck left side swamp. Maybe I can shout the ice rod before you go even there, right? So that's probably actually on both teams' mind. I can see that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So right, at least Shady is going back into doing compass. So this also might be a skip left side first type of situation for him. Especially if he knows
Honestly, I hope, because like if you want to go left side, at least take the boots before.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're getting a spike key chip on Yoshi's side. I don't think anyone else has done this yet.
No, I don't think so too.
Okay.
Okay.
It is just
no shocker.
Yeah. Thanks, Iker. Yeah. All right. So it looks like Zelga looks like we probably did it earlier. Oh no, Zelga. Just not fast enough in order for me to find the boots. No.
Your name is the Eastern Skippers.
I know. Just wants, but he wants the crystal. He was just here in pods, so Shady just need to get to those boots like 3 seconds faster.
Like I honestly thought Zelga's gonna mirror and take the boots. Like
but he doesn't have the mirror. He hasn't been a catfish yet.
Oh shoot! You're right.
Yeah. And and I think that's why, like, when he finished pod, right? Like he just went straight back, and did Eastern. Oh, but it's just unfortunate. But it's okay. I mean, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. He's already here. He'll just finish up Armos.
Unfortunate timing.
Alright, Shady, of course, taking on Argus. Yeah, it looks like he also didn't do left side, so... I'm just trying to remember if there were any items at all. I think there was at least one. Tato also didn't do it, so maybe, Shady will just leave that left side decision to Zelga.
Not really much opened, right? There's one more item in Desert. There's the 2 boots checks. There's Pedestal. Green Pendant Pod with 1 item, potentially, and... Well, did we see the green pendant? No, not yet.
No,
right?
we haven't seen it, yeah.
So we're gonna see that after Eastern from Zelga's side.
I think also we haven't seen Hobo from anybody, because we just got the flippers. That is another logical check open to us.
There was an item in Eastern. Okay, never mind.
Alright, looks like it's just money, so at least, nothing too terrible. Speaking of, though, terrible checks, Yoshi's gonna give us at least a hobo check. We just see, quick on the island. Forget that medallion. We don't need to spend any time on it.
We haven't seen hobo yet, right?
We have not. No, this is the first time, right? Because we just got the flippers, right? And so the first thing that everyone went to go do after flippers was swamp.
I'm surprised he just didn't walk from the Pyramid Ferry to that spot. He flew to 8. I don't know. I would have ran there and near.
Yeah. That you get the shortcut.
It's fine though. It's not a huge difference, but it's a little bit. And there's the book.
No.
Hello.
Oh well.
So maybe the mirror comes into play now. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. So that, man, it's so unfortunate, right? Because do you want to be in the Dark World to go check Bombo's tablet right after Swamp?
Well, there's no way that you want to do it.
Oh, okay. Yes, you have a very excellent point. Let me amend my statement. If you need to go do Bombo's tablet, you would like to do it after Swamp. But of course, the book is boots locked, which is in Swamp. So, kind of sad.
Wait, what did Tato find here on Lumberjack? I think it was
just 20 rupees. It was nothing useful.
So Shady is gonna look for the second item here in Desert. Let's see if he's gonna find it. So a couple of these runners are playing catch up of other runners after the mirrored screens we had earlier on. We finally had
total sync in terms of in terms of progression. But unfortunately, it was still diagonal synced, right? It was like Tato and Zelda were in the same location as Shady and Yoshi. But I think after like the discovery of the flippers, which leads to Swamp, which leads to the boots, and certainly that seems to be like a very popular first priority location for people. All right, so Yoshi, by the way, is now back in Swamp. I guess. Well, are you gonna? We're gonna see in this case if Yoshi decides to do left side because Tato didn't do left side. There's at least one item back here or back there.
I don't know. I mean, Zelga's in the same spot, right? He's gonna pick up his mirror right now, and then he's gonna go into Swamp. Do you check left side? Right now, they haven't found anything, but Shady might find the ice rod here, and that would be actually pretty huge for Team Eastern skippers.
Yeah.
If the second item would be the ice rod here.
Yeah, right. So I mean, like, I think Zelga's also maybe trying to like hedge some more time. Hedge his best. The fact that if in this case, right, like Shady does have a little bit more leeway and rope in order to go find the ice rod. Yoshi, on the other hand, though, still needs to go and he has to make the decision now. But unfortunately, just the heart piece on Landmos. So, but we do get another crystal.
Yoshi is still and Shady are still hoping we might find a second bow somewhere, so they don't have to actually go up to Turtle Rock for the bow. But it
right.
looks like
also good point. Also good point.
It's out of the way somewhere, maybe probably in GT. Let's be real. I mean, there's still a couple of chances, but the thing is, are Zelga and Shady like Shady is gonna do one mirror spot right now, but it's a small one. So I'm curious to see if they're gonna do some more mirror checks next, going to K45 back, because that is now the actual time loss that costs, because they have to go away again that they already did.
Oh right, good point. Yeah,
at least they have boots, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good point too. Is not only of course we're losing out on time efficiency because you have to go back to you can't go from the light world to the dark world or vice versa easily, but also again, like, part of efficiency and part of being able to clear things fast, right, is to only visit places once versus twice or three times. And if you have to go back, especially for something like this, it certainly could be a bit more time consumed.
So Yoshi went to Argus first. Tato just told him, okay, so the eastern boss doesn't have the ice rod. Maybe you should actually go back. Doesn't get the quick kill, but it's fine.
Yeah, but this is just one of those times you could just do 2 spins and then you're happy.
So Tito's gonna probably take some time in pot because he's. I can't imagine he's gonna skip the big chest after taking the big key from the right side and finishing the boss first.
Right, exactly. Especially when he knows there's an item. And well, we saw it was the gold sword from Shady's side, but yeah, he knows there's an item in there. So. All right, yeah, looks like it. Yoshi is unfortunately relegated to go do the left side swamp. I guess at least we're keeping consistent that Tato still has forever skip left side.
And some people might ask, why didn't Tato do this in the first time? Well, to be fair, if you decide the first runner is going through first, and there's nothing on left side by the second guy checking it, at least you have a guaranteed time save there if you happen to find the ice rod early, or your go mode rather early on. Mm-hmm. They haven't had that right now, so someone at least has to check it or completely skip it. And with such a low amount of items left, you definitely gonna check it as second. And there's the second bow!
There's the second bow! Oh my god, so that bow in Turtle Rock, you have to go get it. You have to, oh my gosh.
Oh, not like this game.
Poor Shady. And I mean, so I guess, Zelga had found the bow first time when he was in Turtle Rock, but Shady has no choice in this case but to go and get it. And I think at this point, yeah, we're also kind of, I mean, maybe he'll check Ether Tablet. Maybe that'll get him, the Ice Rod, or, something like that. Or, so then he doesn't have to double dip Turtle Rock, but, ugh.
I mean, there's still Graveyard Ledge, I think, and Bumper Cave that we haven't seen. I'm not sure about that, but I think those things we haven't seen.
As we saw Graveyard Ledge,
We saw Graveyard,
and we
correct.
saw right, we did see actually Bumper Cave as well. Someone checked it. I think it was maybe Tato.
Okay, so then it almost has to be the book check.
Yeah.
Or left side swamp.
Or left side swamp.
Oh
It's
god.
all right. So it's not either tablet. There's still Bombo's tablet open. We're gonna see left side here on Yoshi's side very shortly. I'm gonna assume at this point also that Zelda is just gonna do left side as well, because what else are you gonna do at this point?
But then Tato at least didn't check the book checks, right? So that might be some time saves. If Yoshi's gonna find the ice rod right here, he does!
Oh my gosh! What?
Tato, gotta go back to swamp.
What a location for that ice rod. Well, I think that is officially. So I think Tato and Yoshi has everything that they need to know in order to complete the seed.
That's the risk you take if your first runner is not gonna check it, right? But at least, and the teams don't know that, but both teams did the same play. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, and I think it's such a very reasonable thing for both teams to do, right? Again, like you're missing maybe 1 or 2 items. You know your partner's gonna come here later, for sure, especially when you find the boots, right? So if you can finish out the dungeon, and then maybe you'll find the ice rod elsewhere, right? You've just saved your whole team a boatload of time. But of course, you're always going to have the option of when your partner comes here later. And very good news for Zelga and Shady is that Zelga is coming back here, so he is going to be able to find, in this case, his ice rod.
All right, so Tato, wants to delay swamp a bit, but he will go there eventually. He's gonna focus on finding the crystals first, and pick up the ice rod when he's probably going up to Turtle Rock. I'm surprised Tato didn't do Maya first, but then okay, you get the lamp here, so why would you take the risk and do Maya in the dark if you get the lamp?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Also, that's our second male on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Zelda needs to go over to the left side just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Shady Force is gonna clear everything until nothing is left besides swamp.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I think there's like, what does he even have left? He's, I don't know, a purple chest maybe, hammer packs, something like that. Graveyard ledge, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of this.
Sorry, I mean, K45, did these guys do it? Oh, no, Shady's gonna do Graveyard Ledge right now, so they didn't do it at least.
Yeah, right, so Tato was the one who must have done it. But I was gonna say, like, so Shady was in the area of Swamp Palace, right, when he was checking Bubba's tablet. And I think if Zelka had finished it, found the ice rods a little bit earlier, then Shady could have just hopped back in, right? It's not like it's a big time difference. Shady just has to kind of flute back over to flute spot 4. But it would have just been a little bit faster in order to get there. But
what we are looking at is basically Tato versus Zelga still. Again, the crossover race, because both have still to go back to no wait, Zelga actually has ice rod and bow, because Tato actually doesn't have the ice rod, but Yoshi doesn't have the bow. So these two have to, at least Yoshi has to climb the mountain again, and Tato has to do swamp again. Zelga doesn't have to do anything of those. But
right, yeah,
has to do some stuff in Turtle Rock like Yoshi does.
Right, and the fact that so Shady and Zelga are gonna be able to skip some stuff in Turtle Rock. I mean, right now Tato's the only one out of the 4 runners who's gonna have to double dip Turtle Rock, right? He found a bow, which was really great. But in this case, we know that we can just basically, for everybody else, they can just clear out Turtle Rock in one go.
So here's the thing. While Tato has to go back to Swamp and Yoshi has to go back to Turtle Rock, Zelga has to do nothing of those, but Shady does have to do both of those. So that's basically the situation. So we can expect Zelga probably being in GT first, because he's going to finish Desert right now. And then, go up to Ice Palace, and after that, you go to Turtle Rock, you're on the mountain, and then you go. And yeah, Yoshi has to do Turtle Rock now, but has to do Pod and Eastern still, even though Pod on the Bowlock side is the big key, and I think there's also a small key there, so it doesn't even need to do the first check. Meanwhile, the good thing for Triple Clown Fiesta was Yoshi was fast enough to find the boots before Tato went back to the big chest, so that was a good time save right there, even though the big chest still had your gold sword, but that's not too much of a
right, yeah.
So,
No, of course, right. Yeah, and of course, Tato has also cleared out Aga. So I do think that you're correct in that Zelga will be probably the first one out of the 4 to hit GT. But Zelga's still gonna have to do Aga Tower after GT. So
yeah, but Shady's probably gonna be the last one because his way is the longest out of all of them. Because right now Yoshi is gonna get his bow, and Tato only needs the ice rod. He was already in Turtle Rock. He only needs to finish the dungeon again, but that's not too much of a time. While Shady has to do 2 mountain climbs still, and also finish Pot and Eastern as well.
Yeah, and then of course Aga at the very end, right?
Yeah. But I think for now it looks like Zaga's gonna be the first one into GT, but followed up by Tato and Yoshi, and then Shady. I think that's what's gonna happen right now, unless there's some, some things happening, dying to bosses or something like that. But we are hoping for not.
Yeah, we don't have to bring up the first race between these two teams. I think there were each team probably died enough times for the both of them for the remainder of the season, or at least this week. So.
Sure.
Now, of course,
this is overall pretty close though. Like this could be even if Zaga's only looking for the big key, if he finds it very early, then there's no big time loss. Because the big advantage Tato and Yoshi right now have, they might be very close to each other when they enter GT, so they can split the work. But if Zelga is able to get the big key on the first choice going left or right, wherever, then at least the advantage of looking for the big key is gone. And that makes up some time automatically. But if he does, he's probably gonna check it way longer than the other.
Yeah, and certainly, we still do have actually quite a few dungeons in this case left to go. While in this case, all 4 runners are very, very strong in execution. Still could be some very minor time differences that still could, swing times right back and forth.
Yeah. We're gonna see, like, the remaining dungeons pretty much are gonna be very, very quick. Like, Yoshi already knows where his keys and stuff are. Tato and Zelga already dipped Turtle Rock. The only one who is gonna take a bit of time more is Shady right now, but even he's on the way to Turtle Rock, and then it's the longest dungeon done pretty much.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to remember the key layout here for Turtle Rock. Do you know if we had to go outside? I know there was a small key on Laser Bridge. Just wondering in this case if you have to take the longer way. But looks like no.
No. That's like the situation. If you have a big key chest having a key and the big chest having the key, then there's none on the Laser Bridge.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Right. And, but we saw the big key early, and vanilla big key chest was just an item. So yeah, I think we're all good.
Yeah. So yeah, Zaga's gonna finish ice soon. Yoshi's soon gonna get his bow, and then doing Pot and Eastern together, and then climbing the mountain again.
Yeah, and climbing the mountain is.
Yeah, I think the Turtle Rock thing Tato is gonna the Swamp Palace thing for Tato is gonna come up right after this Ice Palace right now. Also, Tato might think about buying arrow upgrades right now with 5 arrows in hands. That's a little dicey, I'd say.
Yeah, that's actually not unreasonable, and for what it's worth, like, Tato's also the one in the lead, right? So he could probably spare a little bit of time. I would be probably more worried in this case if Yoshi were the one in this situation. Alright, Zelda...
Although Yoshi is gonna come to Pot and Eastern, and he's gonna be somewhat low on arrows after Eastern, but he will still have like 14 arrows or something, or 12 arrows, so he should be fine. But 5 is a little bit too less. If you find the big key on the torch, then 1 missed arrow, or 2 missed arrow rather. I can see Tato simply saying, okay, I'm gonna go for the upgrade right now, and then just fly from there to Swamp.
Yeah, but at this point, being on Gold Sword for Zelga and Shady, I think at least they're still gonna have a faster boss time kill, and just in terms of like faster dungeon clears, than probably in this case Tato and Yoshi. So yeah, I mean, right.
Only Shady is the Gold Sword, but yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so this is Turtle Rock down for Yoshi. So he's gonna get, well, in this case, he already got his bow. He's gonna claim his next crystal, and then, as you mentioned, we're gonna do Pot Eastern together. And then we can basically go up to GT. Meanwhile, though, Zelga is one dungeon away from basically finishing up Turtle Rock again. In this case, actually be able to kill Trinex this time around, and then he's gonna go straight into GT.
I mean, I don't know if you want to do that or if that even helps in some way, but Shady, in theory, did he do Meyer? I assume he did Meyer, right?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I assume he did Meyer, and if he didn't, I can see him, leaving that even after GT, just saving quitting of Meyer, and then starting at Pyramid Ledge, or rather the pyramid itself.
But Shady hasn't done Aga, right?
Well, you would do that after a GT, right? You do GT. It's
Meyer is dependent. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood. Right. Yeah, exactly. That would actually be really. Yeah, I think that's actually a really nice, like, little optimization, right? Is because it's all dungeons.
I don't know if that even saves time, but
I think it's cool.
But it's something, cool.
Yeah. It gives you some extra options, right? Because it's all dungeons. You can clear out GT and then go do your pendants. Very, very valid. Alright, Tato didn't quite get all the puffs in together, but we got half magic and fire rod, so a couple extra slashes and then we're good to go.
So yeah, so Tato's gonna chase Zelga right now. Zelga already in Turtle Rock, however, Tato already has done Aga 1. So that's a big time that Zelga still has to invest in later on. But yeah, it looks like actually I was wrong, and Tato and Zelga are clearing GT each for the runners. Maybe, I don't know how fast Yoshi's gonna be, but he had to pick up the key, it seems like. It looks like there were 2 items or non-keys on the Bollocked side in pod.
Yeah, but I think probably as also mentioned is that so Tato still has to go get the ice rod, and well, to go back to left side swamp, is still quite the track.
So actually, then Yoshi and Tato might actually be in.
Yeah, pretty close,
I forgot about that.
Shady, unfortunately, having a little bit. Something didn't hit. Something didn't register on this firehead, and so it's gotten a little bit out of control here on Trinex. Alright, but of course with Red Mail, I don't think Shady was actually in danger of any dying, but at this point he probably feels a little bit more pressure, to try and finish. For one, he definitely, Zelga and Shady are constantly talking, so he knows he's certainly the one that's, I guess, like further behind in terms of progression. So, but then also, I would be a little bit worried in this case of how late or at what point they found the mirror in this case.
Yeah, so Zelga is going to give us some new information. Do you know what that means, since he's going to be the only one who's going to check GT?
Yeah.
We actually have a fun game.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, actually, not often it has happened, but it is going to be I would say, fairly traditional, uninterrupted GT Big Key guessing game. Certainly feel free to put, to guess where you think that GT Big Key is. We're going to go purely on Zelga's side, because I think by the time he even gets through all of the basement, I think no one else is even going to be close to where GT is going to be close to GT. Now, actually, it's okay. So if you're in this position, you are by yourself going to GT. Is there a particular route that you like to take, Rivas? You think maybe it's more efficient in co-op?
If I'm no. So if I know I'm solo in GT, I think I play as I usually would do.
Okay.
Because like there's you are the efficiency, right? Like you are the only one checking. If you have a teammate, in one of our races, it was like we entered GT pretty much the same time. I think I was 30 seconds ahead. And for us, we said I go hope room. If I find a key, I go right, and if not, I go full left, and my teammate goes left and takes a key and goes right. But it depends always on how much time difference you have, how much you can check already. Like there are words where you just simply rush random room and your teammate comes in. And then goes full right if it's not on your side and it's not on the right side, then everybody just goes through. You could do that as well. However, you risk tile room, so there are some risks. But
well, tile room might be one of the things you're okay with risking, but you know what? Zelga made the right decision and just went to hope room. He found it in guess number 2. I don't actually see number 2 in chat, but there see some pretty close ones.
Damn, I see 4.
Yeah, four
Yeah,
looks like it's
twice.
gonna be the closest one.
From Homemade Beer, our restreamer, and also Bete.
ETA, yeah.
So
Yes.
GG's to you guys. And while we're shouting out our restreamer, also shout outs to our trackers, Nelfrendolch and Akir. Thank you for doing all the work.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Like, I mean, yeah, tracking is actually quite time-consuming endeavor. Tracking for 4 people, especially for only 1 person, is ridiculous. So really thankful to be able to have 2 trackers, both awesome ones at that, Iker and Urban Deutsch.
I really want to know if Shady actually did Mire or not. I don't know, because like I feel like he should have done that already if he's done Desert.
I'm just trying to remember. I mean, I only have memories of Zelda doing Mire on his side, but I also don't. I can't deny that Shady hasn't done Mire.
Like I don't see a reason why you would do Desert and not Mire. Okay, there was a lamp, but you still could, you could just do Mire, I guess.
Right.
Or were we checking for items and leaving Mire for later?
So okay, so we're gonna be able to find out because I assume that Shady's gonna menu to flute or a mirror after this. So we're gonna guess we see what his menu looks like.
I think he's gonna quick swap there. Yeah.
Dang it! Oh no! Was he too fast?
He still has to do.
How many more quick swaps do we have before he pulls out the menu?
Well, only 1 to the mirror, so.
Aww. Dang quick swap. This technology. we need to see
Zelga is very far ahead of everyone else since he
that's
didn't use
actually
iShot and had the bow early. But the next 2 are probably pretty sure Tato and Yoshi. Now here it's what's gonna be interesting. So let's assume Zelga is gonna finish first. You have to what is one of the most important things in these races? You still have to keep up your moral. Because you don't know when the other one is gonna finish, and it looks like Shady's gonna take his time in this one. So you have to still be very quick, even if you think, well, yeah, they're gonna finish soon too. But there's still a chance, and we had that even this season, I think, already.
Yeah.
We're finishing so close to each other. Every second counts.
Yeah, right. And of course, it's important, as you mentioned, to follow up, right? It's average time between the 2 teams as opposed to like the first to finish or the last to finish. So yeah, like your time is always relevant. Your finish time, in order to contribute to your team. And so yeah, it certainly does look like that Zelga's gonna finish first out of the 4. Shade's probably gonna finish last. Tato and Yoshi are gonna, be pretty close to each other when they finish.
I think it's not going to be too close. I think it's actually not going to be too close because Tato has done Aga 1 already, and Yoshi still has to do that. I don't remember how many blue balls those were, but
it seemed short. At least Tato didn't seem to be spending too much time there.
Let's see if Yoshi's going to take the first choice on the correct path in GT as well, because that could cost some time. Additionally, if you start in left, even if you mirror, that's a couple of seconds lost.
Alright, of course. Zelda not opening up any of the chests. Typically speaking, maybe you think silvers are somewhere, but we already know where both those are. One's on pedestal, and one is the one that we found in Turtle Rock, so...
I think Shady even found that out for him, so...
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. So there's 0 chance, I think, at this point they want anything else.
And Yoshi got the Bicky as well early, so that's at least not time loss on Triple Clown Fiesta's side. And yeah, Shady has to do Mire still, so... If that would have not been Mire, that would have been very, well, not too close. I think Zelga has a pretty massive lead to all of the others. But with Mire not having done yet, I think Triple Clown Fiesta is definitely in an advantageous position here. So...
Not of course to bring back any, painful memories from maybe a previous race that happened earlier today, but PSA and all 4 runners did this, by the way, or at least the ones who've gotten to GTR. Remember that you need at least 1 small key for the climb. The pot key is a guaranteed one. There could be a small key in upstairs GT as well, but there's not too much reason to take a risk.
You can, yeah. Why do you hurt Fred so hard? I mean, come on.
I'm sorry. I said I didn't want to bring up any.
No. You can't like that's not fair against like everyone else. Like this is then be honest fully. Earnest commentary. Remember?
Right. Yes.
No, but I think this is still very close. Like execution is definitely out there. So there might be a 2 or 3 cycle Lanmo, a Moldom drop or something like that. Even a Ganon fault. So we are still not done here. Even though I would still think Triple Clown Fiesta has the advantage right now. They've done all 10 overworld dungeons and also have one Aga Tower. And they're both working on the GT right now, so yeah, this is looking pretty good. Shady is gonna take his time, and Meyer still has to go to the boss. And then also climb GT and Aga Tower.
Yeah, and of course Shady's gonna have a little bit of shorter time in Meyer, right, versus Zelga, just because he knows where the big key is, doesn't have to go to cutscene chest, you know. And I think what Zelga did, after, I think also what Yoshi maybe did this too, was just clear out Meyer and then see if there's a last item, and if it does, we go back for it. So. Now, actually, so I'm curious, Rivas. Like, so if you drop into GT first, or sorry, Ganon first, like, and then your co-op partner's gonna drop in afterwards. Like, do you tell them like Ganon patterns and stuff like that, or do you just kind of?
I mean, my partner will know if Ganon has a lot of warps in the third phase because I'm mauling him. If Ganon is
okay, so indirect, gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, you will will do some callouts there. Like even for Aga, even though when we're there with 13 hearts and blue mail, you still say, third one is gonna be a blue one, or at least how many blue balls you get. So the other one can then relax a little bit, knows what's coming, and not like waiting in the unknown, basically. And
actually, yeah. So speaking of though, known versus unknown. So Yoshi and Tato never check pedestal, right? So yeah. Yoshi is potentially searching for silvers. I mean, it's not like it's a huge time difference, but these are checks that we don't have to go do.
Yeah. But it's looking pretty good right now. Shady's gonna make up his way to GT right now, and try to catch up as fast as he can. But the mountain is still gonna take a minute or two. Yoshi's gonna be done with Aga 2 at that point. Tato probably close to Aga 2. Zelga in the Ganon fight, if not done already.
Yeah, that certainly looks like it. Yeah, so maybe Tato's like halfway through his climb. But of course, the good news for Tato is that Yoshi's already explored all of upstairs GT, so Tato could just basically, he doesn't have to open up any more chests.
Yeah, memes would say Tato could tell Yoshi where all the Aga Tower keys are, but I guess that's a bad one.
Maybe a suggestion, by the way, for the Eastern Skippers to change their name to like Aga's main dancers. I did like the little spins that Zelka did while Aga was spinning.
Alright, quick Ganon for Zelga. Already in phase 2, get some dash hits in, get another double here.
Yeah, looks like a good setup for the 1-1. Alright, now let's see in this case.
Ouching. Even giving another slash. And the warping begins. Alright, Yoshi still has to mirror and do Aga Tower.
Alright, good. That it is certainly would not be the first time this week that we've seen runners forget, in this case, to mirror. It's a very, very common. It's very easy to forget, especially after you've cleared out like the entire game.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a time for Tato and a time of uncertainty for Tato and Yoshi, because if they're both gonna finish as second and third, then there's the time like, okay, the first finisher of us is like whatever 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes behind the first, and then you wait every second until you realize, okay, my second teammate has a bigger difference in time than the second one finishing, because that basically means you won the race. But those, I don't know how many minutes it's gonna be, but it is gonna be some minutes they have to wait, and they don't know. But Shady still has to do Aga Tower after this, and Tato doesn't, and Yoshi's already on it, so it's looking pretty good right now, I would say.
Yeah, at least assuming everything goes according to plan for both teams. So
there's no silvers or anything. So Tito's done with Aga 2, Zelga's done with Ganon. GG's to Zelga, finishing first here. I'm not gonna look at race time. We're only taking the time he has right here. But is done on a 1:27:48 according to his own timer. Now we have to see what Tato's time is gonna be, and then we have a difference, and that's the difference that Yoshi needs. Basically to Shady Force or more to win the race. If not, if Shady's closer to Yoshi than Tato is to Zelga, then actually the Eastern skippers made it through. But I think the advantage is still on Triple Clown Fiesta, but we don't know. We have to see.
Yeah, but certainly, I mean, GG's to Zelga, he certainly played the seed. You know, I think his execution was quite strong throughout. And yeah, kind of like what is kind of resulting some of like the major differences in terms of time was that Tato had, made a, he decided to actually make a pretty, I would say, aggressive Aga play early with the Fire Rod, immediately went over to Pyramid and Catfish and found their mirror, which saved them actually quite a bit of time here in the early game, being able to make things very efficient. Which unfortunately Shady and Zelga did not end up getting there until probably around the 15-minute mark, so quite a bit of time difference.
Yeah, that mirror, I mean, that mirror cost with the spots they checked, but like going to Hera, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
They checked more things and, you know, had the Ice Rod because of that, even though they skipped it the first time earlier than the others, because that mirror made it easier to, you know, check other things that the others had to check later on. And then, yeah, Team Triple Clown Fiesta actually did skip a couple of book checks that the other team in the Eastern Skippers actually checked.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, people kind of I mean, like, we needed some logical items to keep everything together. Lots of things were out of logic for quite some time. So if you were going to actually follow the logic with the seed, it would have probably would have taken us significantly longer.
It is still spinning. We're around 2 minutes right now. Probably, yeah, Ganon's gonna fall. So we're looking at around 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I'd say. A little more, 30.
Yeah, let's see this. Yeah, get your G's on chat for Tato. Second place finisher on our, out of the 4 runners. Of course, first finisher for his team, in this case. So, all right,
1:30:12. Yeah, that would be 2 minutes and 24 seconds. If that is, you know.
You're a very brave person doing math live on stream, Bravis. I'm proud.
I mean, I'm just doing what I do in my races as well. If I finish first.
Oh, well then. All right. Yeah. So at this point, of course, you know, maybe just as a technicality or like a technical note, even if you finish part of your team, you cannot go and like turn on other people's streams until your partner is done. So at this point, I think they're just kind of maybe staring at the race room, right? Waiting for their partner to finish so they can kind of take a peek at what's going on.
She got the important torch glitch. I think if he didn't get that, then there could have been still a big chance. But unless he messes up a lot and falls down, I think they have that in the bag. Because the whole Aga Tower and Ganon fight is definitely more than like Tato dropped into Ganon when Zelga finished or did with Aga 2.
Yeah. All right. So Yoshi's still spinning though.
Yeah.
All right, but that is Aga 2 down for Shady. So one more dungeon to go, and then Shady can take on Ganon.
Pretty much the same with Tato and Zelga, except Ganon now is only falling for Yoshi, and Tato already had the advantage of not having done Aga. So if Shady would have done Aga already now, then this would be very, very close, because it was almost the same time as Tato and Zelga, you know, finishing their respective fights. But GG's to Yoshi, finishing up with 1:31:56. So that technically would mean like 1:34:20 for Shady. And
well, unfortunately, Shady's timer is now at 0.
Yeah.
I think it reset right around the time that we found the mirror, unfortunately.
Again, with like almost only 2.5 minutes, Aga Tower with the Aga fight, and Ganon without silvers. If you can do that, then I think you're a really good runner, or probably did use some things that you should have not used. So yeah, but let's see. Shady he's going up the tower.
Yeah, I mean this should still be a relatively like straightforward climb for him. You know, he does have the lamp, he does have gold sword. Every enemy dies in one hit in this case for him. But of course he can't. You know, the only part he really can't speed up, of course, is Aga himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, we all wish to, but we can't.
Oh, except never mind. We still also get frame ruled by the blue guard. That apparently we can also not speed up.
So yeah, I think Yoshi and Tato right now would be like, when is Shady gonna finish?
Yeah,
He's not done
exactly.
yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably doing that. They're doing their math as well.
Yeah, because I guess what else are you gonna do? At this time,
Yeah,
we're just kind of waiting for your opponent to finish.
Exactly. You either do the math or he's finishing. So.
Oh my gosh, Shady got frame rolled twice. Oh, man, these guards. Yeah, but I think once in this case everyone finishes, we'll try and get all 4 of them in. Hopefully we can get a small chat from these guys. Shady made it a good distance, you know, with hook speed. I believe that is actually farther than Zelda had made it, for what it's worth.
So while we're waiting for Shady to finish up the seat and the runners joining on the booth, I can already give you a little preview. Because after this race, there's another race coming up between the Bolas Azules versus the Tile Roomies. That means that Azazaz and I think Madcap are playing together against Artie Walsh and Plasma Kappa right on this SG2 Speed Gaming channel. So don't go anywhere. And then 1 hour later, there's another game starting on the main Speed Gaming channel, Bottles on Empty versus Rando Toddlers. That's Maniacal and Ninjambro versus Vaxtoffer and Jon Snoo. So 2 pretty good races to finish up the Invitational League co-op week before we go into the single race or solo races rather starting tomorrow on Monday.
Yeah, last 2 races of co-op this week. How did you like co-op out of curiosity, Ravis? Like, is this one of your like more preferred modes?
I think it's a fun mode because playing together is mostly more fun than playing alone, you know? And you're having some fun, you're having some talks, you're thinking about it together and then playing, and you know, it's a fun thing to do. I like the co-op modes, as long as, you know, they aren't entrants, I guess, but that's a personal thing for me. So
yeah, so are you playing next week out of curiosity for Ambrosia?
we have the same lineup even next week.
Okay.
So yeah, me and Dragon are gonna play the Ambrosia.
Okay. So and of course, like you didn't play obviously because Triple Clown Fiesta and Eastern Skips are playing each other, so you didn't play them this week. But any thoughts about playing? You know, either Tato, Yoshi, Schultzer, or Shady, Izalga, or Dr. Marty.
So the Eastern Skippers are our opponents in the retrance week, and since we have 0 passion for entrance, at least we don't need to.
Good luck, Ravis.
At least we don't need to practice that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And,
yeah, I mean,
and the other team, that's more fun. That's even more fun. Is going to be in the last week in the Randomizer. So, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Again. But yeah, Shady is finishing up his Ganon right now. Gonna do his little spins as well with the butter sword. You could do dash threats. I highly advise to learn those swaggy.
It is actually kind of cute if you can do that.
It is fun.
Yeah, one of the yeah, you don't often get to see that with gold sword, just because I mean, one is what are the chances you find all 4 swords? I mean, in general, but also it's just like there's not much opportunity for each of this.
All right, Shady should be done here very quickly. There it is. Get your GGs in chat. So we're gonna have official times right now. So starting with Zelga has the official 127.48. Tato has the 130.12. Yoshi finishing up in 131.57. and Shady finishing up in 1:37.24. So that's all around, I think, 5.5 minutes between Yoshi and Shady, which makes Triple Clown Fiesta the winner of this race. And also a fun note to this division, we have only one team who's 2-0 after the first week. The others are all 1-1. So there's still a good competition going on from week 1.
So this is, I think, in general true of all 4 Invitational League divisions, but I mean, like, everyone is just so good, and it's actually really, kind of, like, the fact that I think, like, everyone's basically splitting 1-1, like, for their opponents, right? It just kind of shows you just how, like, how tough the division really is. There are no, like, real sweeps, I think, between, like, any one team or the other. Certainly quite the trek in order to try and make it out of this division, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, every division is so competitive, and what's also competitive is our runners. Yeah, GG's to everyone. I think, is Yoshi missing or is he coming?
He isn't coming, he is skipping.
Oh, okay. But GG's.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
Okay, so Tato, I guess we'll start with you, since I think that you were the first one to the mirror after doing a very aggressive Aghanim very early on in the dark with the fire rod. So I guess, like, so was that your decision, or is that your idea? Like, was that something that you agreed to with Yoshi immediately, spur of the moment type of thing?
Yeah, it was like with the half magic, you gain enough magic to even clear this with the fire rod easily on, and with the master sword in Kariko, it was like, let's play this. I mean, we were deciding about skipping Dark Horse at this point because no Moon Pearl. So it was like, no, there's one item left. The fire rod is logic. Let's check this one chest. Oh, the Moon Pearl. Yeah, absolutely going for the climb and going to catfish immediately after.
It paid off for you very, 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 very well.
Probably the play of the race, I'd say.
Yeah, our routing was really awkward for a long time, trying to piece everything together. So yeah, that mirror would have made things a lot smoother. But yeah, it was just very awkward places for items, and just the way we were choosing to do things kind of screwed us each a little bit. Like, I was the one with no money walking past Dig Game, so we missed the flute for a bit.
We didn't even realize that at the time, actually.
Yeah, so that happened, and then poor Shady getting screwed by all our decisions, ending up with him having to do so much at the end. I felt bad.
Yoshi and Tato split that, actually. I think Tato had to go back to the ice rod. Both of you did the decision to leave the ice rod on left side with the first runner. Okay. And I think Yoshi had to come up for the bow again for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, with the Turtle Rock dive, it felt pretty bad at this point. With the mirror, I tried to combine Palace of Darkness dip without any bow or bottle at this point, and just mirror back over for the sword on the Hashrala and the mids in Eastern. And I don't know why I cleared Palace of Darkness, went in the maze, and oh, here's nothing inside. Let's save and quit. Oh, wait a second, that was a huge mistake. And so I had to back travel all the way from the pyramid over to Pot for the Eastern play. So it felt like we had to make a move at this point.
Zag and Shady, you guys had a very, as you said, awkward routing to do. What were you thinking when you found the mirror and the ice rod there and the locations you found them?
Well, when we found the ice rod, we knew it was over, basically, because that was like last location, and I had spent like 5 or 6 minutes doing all the dumb random overworld checks that weren't left side swamp at that point. When we found the mirror, I think Zelga, you were a bit pessimistic. I was hoping that the flippers in Pyramid Ferry might have saved us a little bit, that the mirror didn't lock anything by itself, but it didn't really work out that way either. And I think in the end it just meant we did too much inefficient stuff. So,
were there any thoughts about just doing left side swamp like immediately, like when you were first there, Shady?
Well, at that point, I suddenly have we're just missing the ice rod, and I know that there's deserts next, right? I've just found the boots, so I can go straight to desert. I can full clear desert. And I just feel like there's better places to be than to do left side swamp right away. Plus, if any team are also going to skip left side swamp, it's like Tito's team, right? So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So it felt like it might even be the better play anyway. Not, and even it might even be made even safer by being against these guys who I think would do the same play as well. So it felt like the right decision at the time, but nothing worked out really for us this time.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been way worse. We always, when a mirror check came up, we were like, is there something gonna be in Mimic Cave? And like going into Turtle Rock without the mirror, that could be so bad, or Graveyard Ledge, or Cave 45. But no, it was just Swamp, and every one of you four got the flippers very late. I would say, like both teams had the bow before the flippers. It was logically anyway a very weird seed for me to watch how the items, how you got the items with the bombos being lamp locked in such a weird way, and with the flute down there. I don't know. It was at least interesting to watch, and was very open for a long time. But yeah, then the ice rod and you Shady checking the checks that were left for you guys that you couldn't do early on, brought you a little bit back.
Yeah, the boots checks and all the book checks as well, and
the way to
Hera are terrible. Yeah,
it's such a terrible book. You get like the boots out of Swarm, no reason to go back in the portal, and of course the tablet possibly will open up, and the same with the mountain. Like you cleared the whole mountain earlier before, and yeah.
And I think you guys, Shady and Zaga, had very unlucky timings with some of the items you found. Like, I think, Zaga, you just went into Eastern when Shady found the mirror, or the other way around, I don't know. And you could have had that for Pod if we had that earlier. The others had that earlier, of course, right? When you guys went to Hera, you had to go the long way. It felt so bad for us watching it from our perspective, knowing where that mirror is, and that Aga play early on was just... It was massive in the end.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating because I feel like it's funny because I feel like we made much better decisions and we played much better in this seed than we did the last race against these guys on Tuesday. But the results like the opposite, which is kind of funny. I feel like we played much worse the last time, but we won anyway. And here we played. I think we made good decisions and we didn't die anywhere. We didn't play badly and.
It's just like the other way around at this point. I did so many mistakes. It's like I could have finished with like the same time as you did, Zelga, and it was like and now Schulze is Yoshi is the third place, and we could have won that if I didn't lost those 2 minutes. And we were just sitting here with Shady Force can't be that late, right? He can't. And it was like okay, just 20 seconds, 10 seconds. So yeah.
I was saying to Zelga when he finished, I was hoping you guys would just panic or maybe just forfeit or something and assume the worst. Maybe the race is over. Let me just die to Ganon, or something. But no such luck.
I think I nearly forgot about the ice one. It was like let's go Desert Palace and Maya, and I have to clean up everything. And after East Ice Palace, just before going back into Turtle Rock, it was I need the ice ward. How dumb would it be going back to Turtle Rock until Twinex and you have no ice ward at this point, because you never went left side swamp again. So welp. But yeah, I remembered. I would have forfeited at this point, I think.
So happy that you guys said that to the audience, because I was mentioning that when the first player's finisher comes in and your second, or the second one is not coming, you can get nervous, right? The moral is going down. You think the other one is going to finish soon, especially if it's like a high caliber race like this. Like when you see one finisher, you expect the next one to come soonish, right? And then it was this close. Yeah, it was very fun to watch you guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how we played this one, kind of like Shady was saying. It's just things just didn't quite work out with the placements that we had in mind. I specifically told Shady, don't do Pyramid and Catfish because we got the 5-6 and it's probably just a lamp. So, because, the lamp logic, like you mentioned, Ravis, it was just disgusting in this seed.
Yeah, imagine going into Eastern Palace for something that, helps you. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Logic. You even had to dip Eastern for bombos, right, to get the bow.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
All the things you had to do was it wasn't fun. You guys even had the mirrorless Smith chain and stuff. Even that was easier on Tatos and Yoshi's side as well. So, and then the silvers on pedestal, So good.
I nearly missed that information. After Yoshi just finished, I looked up and stick and twine. Oh, stick and twine. Oh, this is interesting. So yeah, great seed.
Yeah, we were trying really hard to find a way for Shady to stay out of Turtle Rock for a long time, and when we found that bow, we knew. Like, that was kind of when I was like, yeah, okay, I don't think we have a shot now.
Well, it turns out you could, I think, right? Except you had the Eastern double dip, but you could get the Ice Rod early. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
Shady didn't get the Ice Rod early, so that's yeah.
No,
But
I
you
mean,
guys did very well, so
Yeah. As you said, like all reasonable decisions, right? Especially at the time, it's just the items don't always have to be in the most probabilistic locations, right? So.
I mean, it's co-op, so normally you can like plan ahead of time what your next steps will be, and if you get one item, all right, just adjust your playstyle. But with co-op, it can change easily on the way. Like you are going to somewhere and your teammate just says like, "Oh, I found the item X," and you have to turn around and turn back, or it's like you have to be so much quicker with your decision making.
Yeah, well, I guess, so this is at least no more co-op for a little bit, so I guess, are you guys all geared up for Ambrosia next week?
I am super hyped for Ambrosia because I'm not touching it.
I mean, the same for us with Retrons, you guys. I mean, we're playing you, so there's no reason to touch Retrons for us.
I'll look forward to that week. I know for sure. I enjoy the mode, and
Please no.
yeah, it'll be fun though. Either way.
No. But anyways, do you have any final thoughts for us to give?
Just GG's to Tito and Yoshi for the win, and thanks for covering it. Thanks for the commentary and everything, and restreaming. And I'll see you all again soon.
Yeah, Shady beat me to it. GG's.
Absolutely. Thanks for the restream, and GG's for the 2 pretty interesting races.
No, thank you guys so much. This was, as Ravis mentioned, this was an absolute blast to be able to watch you guys, so thank you so much for doing this. So I just real final, because I think there is, as Ravis mentioned, there is actually a race starting actually in just a few minutes, so we're going to try and wrap things up real quick. Thank you again, basically, to all of our runners today. Good luck next week for Ambrosia. Thank you again to our awesome trackers, Iker and Nervendois. Nervendois came out and done lots of tracking for us. Iker, double duty today, back to back, so thank you so much for doing all this. And of course, Ravis, awesome time as always. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the next one, and of course, good luck cheering on your teammates from the sidelines.
GG's everyone, thanks for hanging out, and let's go with the next one.
Yep, all right, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.